drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
Hello, welcome to SAP UI5 training session. In this training session, we'll be seeing how to use Postman and JSON view. So what is Postman and JSON view is, there are two extensions available in Google Chrome. By using Postman, we can check OData services, and using JSON view, we can see the JSON data on the browser. So how to do it is, first we have to install the plugin. So in this Google Chrome, we have extension. There are extensions. So we'll be using that extensions. Go to More Tools and go to Extensions. So when we go to Extensions, so there will be Advanced REST Client. So how to do it is, extensions, get more extension. When we say go more extension, it will go to the Google Web Store. So in this Google Web Store, we have to search. Yeah, this is a Google Web Store. Here we can search Postman REST Client. So once we click on this, there will be list of Postman apps will be displayed. So in this, we have to click on Advanced REST Client and click on it. It will be downloaded. So once the REST client is done, you can launch it by clicking this option. It will say launch the app. So once you click on this launch the app, then your REST based client will be launched. So in this, we have request. This is in the bank. You have to give the URL, which URL need to be run, and then the get. Is it a method we have to give? Is it get method or post method or put method, and patch and delete, head, options and others. So these are the options available, and it is a form data which we are sending or a raw data in the edits. This is a URL, and in this URL we can pass query parameters also. Just extend this by clicking on this, and we can pass query parameters. So what are the query parameters? After the URL in the OData service, we'll be saying it. So it's a get method, post method, put method and patch method. So we'll be using the service now. When we say post, then we have something called a payload, which we need to be saying. Payload is nothing but we'll be sending it to the server to update or create. For post is used for create, and put is used for update. Delete is for delete. The patch is for, there will be a patch call also. In few cases we'll be using for, but when coming to SAP Network Gateway, the initial thing are get, post, put and delete. And another one is batch. The batch will run as post or put only. That's a batch code in SAP UI5. So that time it will run on put or post. Then there is a delete option. And head is not used in SAP UI5, and options. If it is any other option, then we can. Maybe in future we'll be using the patch or head or options. Maybe. But for SAP UI5, we need get, post, put and delete. Now in this session, we'll be seeing how to use get, post, put and delete method using Postman. Why this Postman is, before using the services in OData, we can test our service using Postman. So it's better if we directly using it in the application. So we can test it here and then we can use it in the application. So first what we have to do is, we need URLs, service URLs, and then we can use this application. So we'll go to the service OData service. Yeah, these are the OData services I have. That OData service is not the one, but in the real time, the OData service will be like this whenever that someone develops. So it will be HTTP, the domain name, and /SAP/OPU/OData/SAP/service name, whatever the service name they give. usually it will be like this. So we are using the free services for now because we don't want to use any gateway services, but we want to, because we using this we need a username and password. But the services which I'll be giving you now, you don't need to have any username and password. It is open to the world. So I'll right click this, edit with this, and yeah. So this is the OData service. First we'll run in the browser and then we'll test it. Yeah, right click it. So once you run this service, yes, there is food, beverages and electronics. So how this comes? Usually when we run in any of the browser, this JSON data is coming, right? Usually, yeah, that is using JSON view. I'll tell you later about the JSON view. First we'll be seeing Postman service. Usually when you open this URL, usually it will be like this. But I have installed JSON view. That is the reason it will show like this. Now this OData consists of the host name. This is nothing but host name. Then the path v4 OData version 4. That means OData. And this is the key which is passing on. And then OData.svc is the service name / entity set. I'll repeat once again. This is a host name / it means version 4 / OData. This is a path, relative path, starts from v4. After host name, whatever it is a relative path, we say. This is a complete URL. So relative path v4 / OData / s. This is a key which need to be passed through the URL, and then there is a service. So in this service there are a list of entity set, but we are using categories. So the list of, see, this is a list of entity sets. One is product, one is product details, and another one is categories, another one is suppliers, another one is persons, and another one is person details and advertisements. We are using categories for now, and this comes with XML data. This is in XML. So if you want to see this data in JSON format, you can always do that. We're using $format equal to JSON. When you do it, you can see it in JSON format. Just use this query parameter, that is $format equal to JSON, and we'll run this service URL. Once we run this service URL, we'll get the list of entity set. I am using this entity set for today, so I'll copy this and I'll run, and then it is name, beverages and electronics. So we'll run the same thing in Postman now. We'll copy this URL and we'll go to our REST based Postman server application and we'll paste it here, and it is a get operation. So we are not passing any queries parameters now. So we are simply saying get, and we are sending it to we are calling it. So this Postman service has this query parameters, this, and we can check the history also. I'll tell you about that. So we'll be using this. See, when we expand it and pasted it, see, domain name, this is a relative path. This is how it is divided. So we don't want everything in, we need to be in one. So we are minimizing this, and here we paste it. So we don't want this everything, and categories only, and then get, nothing you are passing in the headers. So we are trying to send. So it will send. Then there will be a status to 200 OK means yes, it is successful. And how much time it took to execute this particular URL is loading time. It is 294 milliseconds. And which browser you are using, everything comes here. You have used a Google Chrome, and what is the language is English, and the cookie generated is this, and cache control no cache, content type 252, like this. The information will give, see, the application / JSON. This is JSON, so that's the reason it comes in JSON format. See, this is an output. So we can see it in other format also. See, raw. This is raw, but we'll get the output, and then we can check it in JSON format. So we'll see the service without categories, which we have checked in the browser. So I'm going to say enter and then send it to the server. Yes. So it is a status with 307, temporarily redirected to some other service. So but finally it is 200, means okay. So this is a list of entity sets which is in JSON, and we can check the application type, content type is always JSON. So when we say raw, it comes as a raw file. Okay, you can save this file, and you can download it. You can download it also. So it is JSON. This .json file is created, so you can directly use this in your application also. That's one way of using it. So how to do it? Save this file and download it. And how to use JSON file, we have seen it in your JSON session using JSON data. So we can go to this folder, show it in the folder, and we can check the file. Okay, we are going to the particular file, right click, open it in Notepad++. See, this is the file. This is raw information, but you want to see in a particular, you want to align it. So how to align it? Control A, copy everything and go to this, and here type jsonlint.com. jsonlint.com. So when you type jsonlint.com, so there will be a JSON validator comes. So once the JSON validator comes, you can paste all the data here and you can validate. So once you validate it, the list of JSON data will come. So it is properly aligned. So you can copy and you can paste it in a file and save it. So it's properly aligned, and it always checks JSON is valid. If you want to remove this 1 comma and validate, it says line number 6 has an error. So what is expecting comma? So line number 6, this is line number 6, so we can comma and validate. So this is how we validate. So we'll go to our REST-based client. So we have used categories. So you can expand also, you can send, it's the same relative path. So we'll go here, it's a relative path, and this is a host name. So this is how it will be divided, and your JSON data is coming up. This is for the get method. Next, we will be using it for the post now. So post method, the post method URL is, we're gonna check, we'll be using post, the post method, copy, and then we'll be using post. So in this post, we have to send some payload here. So the payload will be here. In this payload, we will have to send it raw data, this one. Okay, raw data. So how it works is, the raw data, we have to go first, delete it, and this one I'll going to get first. In this we got entries. The entries are nothing but like, these are the ID and name. So here we have only 2. In future we will be having 10 properties like this. ID is one property, name is one property. So like that we might have 10 properties, but the gateway service builder will tell to create. Now why we are using post is to create an entry. So when we create an entry, so what are the required fields? We have to send it in a payload that will be given by OData service builder developer. So once the OData service developer gives you the payload, you can make use of that payload in this post. So once you create it, so here we have only 2 fields, So that means two properties. So we are making use of these two, ID and name. So these are ID 0, 1, 2. So I'm going to take another ID called 3 and then I'll be giving another name. So I'm taking ID 04. So it is true only. So we'll be saying 3 and we'll be saying, so what are the food, beverages, electronics? Now we'll be saying electronics 1, or we can give another name also, materials. So okay, I'll be doing post and this I'll be sending and I'll send it, but it should throw an error because whatever we are sending, it is not knowing what is a media type. Whenever you get 415 unsupported media type, then what we have to do is this format which you are sending is not accepted by the server. So we have to try it in headers. So in the form, we can have, in this form you have to include add new header, content, you will be getting a list of options here. So content length is accept application, application JSON. So like this, application / JSON, content length, no, it is content type, sorry. So it is content type and that is application / JSON. So we are sending JSON payload because this is JSON payload. We have taken it from the get entity. Now we're gonna set it. See, whenever you set content type header to override this value, so it's normally a URL based application. So it will be this and we can send it. So once we send it, we got 201, that is created. Now loading time is half second, 493 milliseconds. So now this is created. Now the JSON will come, see, like this. So 3, ID number 3 and material is created. That is what it means in the response. So we'll go here and we're gonna check a get method and we're gonna see whether our 3 and electronics 1 or material comes or not. 3 material comes. So similarly we're going to do another entry of 4. So the post and 4 milk products. There's one more category we are adding, milk products, that is 4. So we're gonna send and it is created, 201 is created and it's took 305 milliseconds and the content type we are sending it JSON and this is how number 4 and milk product is created. So we're gonna see in get method. So there are total 5 values. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 milk products come. So this is how we create. And in the post we have written content type application JSON, right? You can, other way of using this is close this and here we have can set method application JSON. So it sets the content type header to application JSON. Earlier it was form in. So you do with this application JSON and send it. It is 201 created. Once we see the get, it should override usually. Now it has created one more ID because they have not maintained the uniqueness. So you want to delete this ID because this has ID 4. So once we say ID 4, we'll see what we are getting it actually. We say ID 4. So here we have to pass the ID 4, get and send. So unexpected token. So what is this? It's 200, okay, and we are getting unexpected token. So when we say 3, so see 3 information comes, but 4 we don't because there are duplicate IDs. So that's how we have to make sure. So OData service developer need to be taking care of those small things. So that's the reason we can't delete that entry because we are not getting that entry. So when we say 3 materials comes, and when we say 4, it gives an error. we say 2 here, and we're gonna send. So 2ID, then 2ID is electronics, that particular detail comes. So we're gonna delete this straight away. We'll be using delete option. We are not sending any payload, just delete and send it. So no content is created, but 204, it means it deletes. So there is no response from the server, but the entry is deleted. We have deleted 2. Now we try to get this same entry by sending it. We get an error saying that resource not found in the segment categories. That means the entry is not available. So again we'll go there and we'll see the categories, say get and categories. In this categories we have 0, 1, 3, 4 and 4. See, 2 electronics is deleted successfully. This is how we're gonna check once we delete. So we'll delete 4th one and we'll see what happens. Delete the 4th one and send it, and it says a bad request. System argument. This is an error processing. Its URI specified is not valid actually. That's how it is. So it's better to make sure so that you can check properly in the Postman, and you can contact the OData service developer and you can discuss about this error.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.